Sometimes after starting a thread, we may want to stop its execution before the thread actually comes to an end. For that we use the interrupt method. Here we have two Java files, check.java and mythread.java. In check.java we have the class check. In the class check we have the method main. In the method main we are creating a new thread by using mythread class. The name of the newly created thread will be T1. Then after we are starting the new thread. In the run method of the class mythread, we are counting from 0 to this number and we are increasing the value of I. Then after we are printing the value of I. But after starting the thread T1, we have called the interrupt method by using the reference variable T1. Therefore, the thread T1 should be stopped. Let's check if the thread T1 can be stopped by the interrupt method or not. So, let's compile these two codes, Java C, mythread.java and check.java. It compiles fine. Now run it. Java check, because the class check contains the method main. It runs fine and printing the complete output. That means the thread T1 has not been interrupted. So what goes wrong? Why the thread T1 has not been interrupted? Let's open the mythread.java once again. And inside the for loop, let's check if the thread has been interrupted or not. Let's check it. Right here, if, then give a bracket and write here the condition, if thread dot current thread, which returns the reference of the current thread, the current executing thread. That means the thread T1, because we are writing the code in the thread T1. So if thread dot current thread dot is interrupted, so if the thread is interrupted, then print the statement as system dot out dot println interrupted. And then break the loop. What happens here is, whenever a thread got an interruption, then the thread actually do not stop its execution. Rather than the thread just update a flag, a status flag, that the thread has been interrupted. If the status flag is set to be interrupted, then after that, this will be the discretion of the thread that it wanted to be stopped or not. Sending an interrupt signal never means that the thread is always going to be stopped. Here by writing thread.currentThread.isInterrupted, actually we are checking that that interrupted flag has been set or not. Having that interrupted flag set does not mean that the thread is going to be stopped. But here we are checking programmatically if that flag, that interrupted flag has been set, then we are breaking this loop from the execution. So again, try to compile these two codes, Java C, mythread.java, check.java, compiles, does not compile fine. Oh, current thread should be a method. Right here, the current thread as method. Now compile it, Java C, mythread.java, check.java. It compiles fine. Now run it, Java check. It runs fine, and at this time the thread has been interrupted when the value of I was 0. If a thread is using slip method, wait method or join method, then in that case, if the thread is in the sleep state, if the thread is in the waiting state, and if a thread is in the joining state and waiting for another thread to complete its execution, then in these three states, whenever a thread gets the interrupted flag on, then all these three cases, the thread throws interrupted exception. Let's use the sleep method in the code and check how the thread behaves. Just use the sleep method in the code. Type here try, because we need the try catch block to use sleep method in the run method thread dot sleep, and let it be sleep for suppose at 2000 milliseconds, means 2 seconds. Then catch interrupted exception. And here we want to print that interrupted. I want to print a string interrupted. Now compile these two codes, java c mythread.java check.java, compiles fine, run it, it runs fine, and the Java code is still interrupted. Therefore, in this code we come to know that when a thread is in the waiting state or in the joining state or in the sleeping state, then in these three states, if a thread gets an interrupt and the interrupt flag of the thread got switched on, then in these three cases the thread gets interrupted exception. And we know that inside the run method we are forced to use try and catch for a checked exception. So I hope you got all my points. That's all for this video, guys. Don't forget to like and share this video, subscribe my channel on YouTube, like my page on Facebook, and leave your valuable comments in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.